orange awesome little badge that they sent me. It's really cool. So I've been teaching at Egg Harbor Township High School now for 19 years. And as mentioned before, as I started, I kind of got involved with Dave Crawford with the Catawba Project, which what you're doing is modeling exactly what we did. And for a number of years, we actually had a farm, or not a farm, I guess it was Young's family out in Mays Landing. They had a large tract of land, and Mr. Young, he was the nicest guy ever. He would invite the entire, whoever wanted to come. So we had, for a few years, I want to say probably 2/3 of EHT show up to, the EHT schools show up to this site. And each grade level would set up various stations talking about different parts of environmental science, watersheds, and aquatics and everything. And for a number of years, I would bring my high school students over, and we would do tours through the forest, talking about these are what these trees are, this is what this aquatics are, and it was fantastic. I had students who, as it was, I'm going to say, a direct result of that, have gone into environmental science. I've got students who graduated from high school, went to college, and started careers in environmental fields that did not exist when they were in school, which is what I tell my students today. I'm not teaching you for the jobs that there are today. I'm teaching you for the jobs that haven't been created because you haven't graduated to learn this stuff. The same kind of thing as you guys. We have a field at our school that in 2006 we started with a grant from the NRCS, the Wildlife Habitat Center program, which allowed us to take this field and turn it into a wildlife habitat and try to encourage wildlife to show up, birds, squirrels, ground mammals and whatnot. So we started with that, and the land that we were on, I've learned since we started, we dug out a pond, we planted all these trees. The ground was very, very hard. It was something very weird about the ground. Every time we dug into it, it was like rock solid, and I could never figure out why. Then I found out later on that before the high school was hooked up to the county sewer system, that was the old leach field. So, when we put in a split rail fence and we were digging in with a backhoe, we started finding like all the rock that was below, and it made sense. We figured it out then. So for a number of years, we actually let the area go fallow because everything we planted, it was doing okay, but it wasn't thriving. And because the ground was so solid, rock solid, so we let it just kind of go. And I told the grounds guys, I said, stop it. I said, this whole area here, just let it grow. Just let it be grass, let it grow. And at first they were kind of like, are you sure? Like, we're supposed to cut, like not let grow. So they actually let it grow up, and it was great. We've gotten a few grants from Sustainable Jersey for Schools, which have allowed us to add a bunch of raised garden beds. We've added a split rail fence. And one thing I've learned with teaching for this long is it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. So the area that I had was a lot smaller than it is today. Because I would just slowly start expanding, and I would just move the fence one year, and just all of a sudden I have this land too. And it's also nice to, it's also good to be nice to the grounds guys and talk with them and be like, hey guys, how you doing today? This is one of those legacy projects that the kids come in, they do everything with it. Everything that is out there has been done by students. It's just a slow process. Each year we add to it. A few years ago in 2018, I think it was, 17, we actually added a chicken coop and a chicken run, so now we hatch chickens, and this year, for the first year, we hatched chickens and we hatched ducks. And if anybody has never hatched ducks, I'm just gonna let you know, they are dirty. They make messes like nobody's business, and they grow super fast. Oh yeah. So they are now out of the chicken coop. The chickens are still inside for a couple more weeks. But these are programs that the kids love, and everything I've done with this whole area has not cost my district a single dime. Everything has been through grants. Everything has been through blood, sweat, and tears from the students. Hopefully not too many tears though, but so this is the kind of stuff my students long for. This is, I can't remember how many years now I've had students who, they beg me to go outside. They're like, can we just go outside? Can we go outside, out to the garden? Can we go out there? Can we go do what? They love going outside. And they're not just trying to get me from teaching them something, because I'm always teaching them something when we're out there. Most of these kids don't get that opportunity to get their hands dirty or to hold a chicken or hold a duck. Yeah, they're always on their phones. In fact, actually, just this week, I want to say it was on Monday, I had the weirdest thing. If you're a teacher, you'll know that something is strange with this. So the kids were like, oh, can we hold the chickens? We have 6 chicks that we had hatched about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So they're little guys. I'm like, sure, let's get them out. So I get them out. All the kids have them. They're just kind of holding them, whatnot. And all of a sudden, I'm like, why is it so quiet? The whole room is dead silent. All the kids are just kind of sitting around in little groups, and all the little chicks have fallen asleep. And my entire class is just sitting there like, they're sleeping. They had that moment with the chicks. I wasn't actively teaching them something, but they were learning right then. They were connecting with nature, which is something I think is very, very important. And one thing I've learned this last year, being County Teacher of the Year and talking with different people, is there are so many of us out there doing such wonderful things. I've met so many educators across Atlantic County, beyond, in fact, all of South Jersey, North Jersey too, teachers who are doing the same things that I'm doing, that I'm thinking like, there's no one else crazy enough to do this, and there are. We're out there. So it's really important that we try to connect and try to interact, and I had no idea. Dave Crawford, who, if you don't know Dave Crawford, I don't know how you don't know Dave Crawford, because on Facebook, he talks to everybody. On Facebook, I will see posts, and he will comment on posts, and I'm like, how does he know that person? There's no way. But yeah, Dave Crawford, he's an amazing educator who retired, 20s, I want to say even before then. I feel like it was a long. But he kind of pioneered this. He got this going, and so now we've got our middle school. John Jones continues the Catawba project. He's kind of the core for it, and I bring my high school students over, and we're really involved. I've got a counterpart at my school, Krista Delaney, who's just phenomenal. The two of us can work together like nobody's business. We're constantly getting the students out. We just went to the EHT Nature Reserve. It's yesterday. Spent a day there with the Watershed Ambassadors, which, by the way, AmeriCorps Watershed Ambassadors. Yes. Who do you have coming? Paul. I mean, he's not ours, but he came to us last week and did the bio blitz with us. Phenomenal. He's awesome. He's working to be a teacher. He should be. So if you ever get a chance, Watershed Ambassadors, they're fantastic. Every year it's somebody new, and they know their stuff, and they're really good with the kids, and the kids actually, they pay attention more. Yeah, they're interested. So there's a lot out there. I think it's really important. Like, this kind of collaborative event is very important to kind of get us to talk to each other. So that's all I got. I'm gonna pass it back to you.